Hi everybody, I just wanted to bring you through the box gallery for my Symbiosis show in case you weren't able to come. I'm going to turn my... And here is our marquee at the box gallery. We are upstairs in Summit Artspace up on the 3rd floor, and we are part of Artists of Rubber City, which is a local artist league based out of Akron. Let's see. Here is my opening wall, sort of the introduction. And I have my first piece, Symbiosis 001, on the wall here as a sort of show and tell for people to touch and play with, feel that marble moving in there. Most of my pieces are pendants, but I managed to get them onto the wall without chains and busts and podiums and all those things. My pendants are getting kind of big anyway here, so I'm starting to move into larger wall pieces and things like that, sculptures instead of necessarily jewelry. Like this piece, nice big wall sculpture with a labradorite, an agate, and a faceted amethyst there. This guy is one of my wall pieces. They have keyholes on the back for just hanging on a regular drywall screw. And so, number 8, my photogenic guy that's on all of my business cards right now. This is number 53, and he is made of a brachiopod fossil that my friend Wendy found near her old house in Kentucky. So I made him a little guy out of a little glass doll eye, some epoxy clay, and there's a slice of agate in there. This is my husband's eyeball piece. I made us each an eyeball piece for our museum gala this year at the Canton Museum of Art. That was his, this was mine, the big monster. And I had this eyeball piece in a show up at 78th Street Studios in a gallery called Understory for their holiday eyeball themed show. It was called I Only Have Eyes for You, and it was a blast. Little tiger in that one. Most of my pieces are seashell slices. They make very nice armatures to sculpt on and to electroform in copper. This one, number 34, is kind of my poster star for the show. This one is 2 seashells, and they are electroformed together into a wall piece here with glass. And into the foyer, we've got a few pieces in here. I've got one of my original symbiotes, number 3. This one is a cage full of little bits of tumbled glass. They are held behind copper mesh. There's a little moonstone sunstone piece. That's a really fun sunstone in there. This one's another sunstone moonstone piece with a couple of agates. And a little fidget toy for my friend Jess. It has a piece of sardonyx in it with a nice little eye spot. And here is the main room, and I will start here with number 23. This is probably the biggest one I've made so far. He's a little bigger than my hand, and he is got a nice big chunk of lapis in there. That was a friend of a friend found that, and a piece of enameled copper. That's glass powdered enamels fired onto copper sheet in a kiln. Got some more pendants. Another moving marble piece. And this guy's got a vintage cat's eye in there. Number 38, Goodbye has been sold. Number 6 is a friend of mine, Wendy's piece. She loaned it to me for the show, and Karen has loaned me her piece as well. And this is another larger wall piece with some just stunning chunks of labradorite in it. A nice big faceted quartz and a piece of enameled copper with some danglies on it. Nice photogenic little moonstone and rhinestone shell here. We've got labradorite and some Kingman turquoise spiny oyster. That's a composite stone at the bottom. The orange is spiny oyster, and there's turquoise in that. And this guy has dried flowers with amethyst in and amongst its tentacles. It's built on an Orthoceras fossil there. And this one is made from 2 milkweed pods. They were kind of a double on the vine there. I filled them up with amethyst crystals and some enameled copper butterflies. This milkweed set came from a family in Hartville. I stopped by their place to see if they wanted to trade me some milkweed pods and seeds for a piece of art. I made them this out of one of their milkweed pods and a little enameled butterfly that I made in my kiln, and a nice chunk of labradorite and some amethyst. They did stop in, which I was just absolutely thrilled about. Here's my piece that does need to be on a podium. It is a little bit fragile, so I feel like I may be keeping this guy just for me. He's enameled copper, electroformed copper, rhodonite, Herkimer diamonds, those quartz pieces, some tiny rhinestones, and a giant shell slice. This is another rather large piece. I've got one of my original milkweeds that I plucked from, I believe, my workplace's butterfly garden last year. A nice chunk of moonstone in that one. And a big old labradorite. This piece I just got back from Massillon Museum. It is quite a large pendant with a little moving marble and a chunk of faceted quartz. This piece was for my mother-in-law. This is a large shell slice, and I've got it made up with some little amethyst carved flowers and leaves. The leaves are little emeralds, some moss agates, tiger eye, rutilated quartz, amethyst. And this is a chunk of, well, it's a piece of enameled copper, but I also etched it before enameling it. And the trio here was made with stones from my grandfather's collection, my grandpa Semini. My Aunt Jane gave me some of his stones, and I wanted to make some pieces with those. I made a piece for my parents. This one is a little piece of, that's obsidian. It's called an Apache tear. Some agates, and those were my grandfather's, those tumbles, and I put that faceted quartz in there from my collection. got a piece for my Aunt Jane and Uncle Terry. This was a large quartz point that was my grandfather's, along with a few banded agates. They are very, very sort of orangey yellow, and you can really see the light through those very nicely. This piece was for my Uncle Johnny and Aunt Jackie. This is also from my grandfather's stones. It is made of several different pieces of amethyst. We've got a chevron amethyst there. That was my grandfather's. A little slice of amethyst stalactite, a piece of rough crystal, and then a piece of very dark purple amethyst rough, all from his collection. This one, actually, you can get some really nice light through this one as well. All right. And last but not least, my 7-year anniversary piece for my husband. The internet told me that 7th anniversary is copper. So this is our 7th wedding anniversary from 2024. This was a Japanese maple leaf from our tree outside the house that I've added on some little tendrils and tentacles and things, and of course some amethyst on that, a little tiger eye heart, and some amethyst drops. And these are leaves from our newest tree. It's a little crimson tipped maple that we had planted this year to replace a tree that we had taken out. So anyway, we've got old, we've got new, and 7 years. That is the extent of the main gallery, and that is the rest of my show. I'm so glad I could show you this. This has just been such a dream. Thanks for watching.